Imagine waking up or coming home from wherever you came from, and then saying to yourself, I'm going to play some Jump Force today. Though a questionable decision, you do it. And then you decide, I'm going to go on the Little Mary and go into my favorite lobby place in this entire game, the beta team lobby place. Look at all that water. I'm going to go ahead and explore this so I can feel like I'm drifting to sea. Nope, you get stopped by an invisible wall. An invisible wall. For what reason? See, other lobbies have reasonable wall places, but literally, this is the most unacceptable one. Not only is it nice looking and it feels great, but you can't even explore what you see fully. It's literally the biggest lobby. And Naruto is a close second to this. The Gamma team. This is purely unacceptable. In a new version of Jump Force, you should be able to explore anything you see in this game. You should be able to go off this boat and walk on that boardwalk. So here's a checklist. 1, 3, 2, 1, boom. Of all the things we need to change within the lobby. And starting from top to bottom with this checklist, I'll explain to you why we need these things and how it could greatly improve the game overall. The lobby is the first thing you touch before you go anywhere in this game, and ultimately feels like the most useless part of it. I got the whole idea from the top two, new huge areas, well, that's a given, but mostly the night and day cycle of the sky change from Mortal Kombat Deception. As in that game, you could pretty much, it goes from night and day, and at specific times, you go to specific quests at certain times, and you get certain things from it. This is how the Jump Force lobby should function. And that's where the special quest and quest in general comes into play. You see, you go upstairs, or you just go in the lobby, you see all these NPCs everywhere. You talk to them, you get your little points that contribute to some bullcrap you don't care about. Pretty much communication, not even communication points, participation points that you don't care about. But really instead, these NPCs should be giving you quests and should be dressed a lot better too. And get their own personality, like, hey, I'm gonna go to this NPC by the event store place. He usually gives me special quests throughout the big, new, and expanded lobby, new huge areas. And at that point, you can unlock skins and costumes. Now, costumes usually apply to your created character, and skins can apply to the characters already in the game. We're already talking about, of course, they have to add unlock taunts and moves for everybody. But this is one of the many ways you can do it, is by going through quests in the lobby. Now, Yugioh here, as far as for example, you can go ahead and go to maybe the alpha stage and speak to a Bleach character, or Yugioh himself. He gives you a very special challenge. You beat him, and well, you get a skill from him, or an extended skill that you get. There's a new skill from this game, and maybe even eventually beat him again, and you get it for your carried character. And you never know. You may be able to unlock a full set of maybe his former J-Star's moveset, as you just saw the clip right there. Just thinking about that, yeah, that seems good. And now you see the Soul Society thing. Well, I can see them unlocking stages within the quest too, and even more interesting, stage transitions from base stages and other stages as well. So, but that's not the only thing they should be able to unlock. And before I get to this, you did see Psyche and Alan Walker. They could do special quests from NPCs and from series not represented through playability in the game. That's also something very interesting, but I'll bring that up a little bit more. Before we do that, going back to this, I go see an unlockable thing from special quests and quests is body types. I kind of stressed this before a little bit. Being able to do a fat guy like Popo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5, or maybe a skin type like a Namek skin type would be also cool too, and aura type, and that could also play into the elements thing they have going on within the game as well as having the option of separated pieces, being able to go ahead and like, let's just say the Millennium item, kind of separating that due to like spending money or something, and to separate it. Just more options. And as far as huge areas is concerned, part of that new huge areas is adding extended lobby, an entire another lobby place where you can access what you see here as room worlds. And the room worlds, each room world is the size of the beta lobby, fully expanded. Like, you can go all in that sea area, like pretty much what you can see. And these could be specific event exclusive places. Now, the events in this game are what they are, and you can only access them through one place in the lobby, and it's kind of really freaking whack. I say let's change that and make room worlds. That's what I call them. Pretty much, if there's an event for Yugioh, you can go to a wherever. Well, he's in alpha. Yugi's in alpha. Go to an alpha lobby, or specifically this one, maybe the Soul Society alpha lobby, or the Saint Seiya Gamma lobby. Go to that and go ahead and you can. That's where you can access a door that brings you to the room world. That's only there for a limited amount of time, where you can only get Yugioh exclusive items and meet Yugioh NPCs from there for an exclusive amount of time. That is super cool, and I think that's something that they could definitely do. Maybe even meet Yuki in their face a few times, maybe unlock a special skin for him and costume, stuff like this, or a taunt for Kaiba and him. Cool shit like that. And I think that could definitely work. By now, you're probably wondering, if we can lock skins, taunts, and moves, that means we can lock characters, right? Well, it was inevitable that we get to this point, that I talk about the silhouettes I have placed here, and generally talk about what characters could be added to the game and this new version. Well, I did say these silhouettes mattered, and they don't matter, because I asked myself one simple question. These changes are a lot of work, and that question is, because of these changes are a lot of work, would you be fine with all these changes without new characters? And my answer is, yes, I would be fine with no new characters immediately if these changes were implemented into the new version of the game. But there's a reason for Kinnikuman, Gintoki, Madaka, Nami, Sakura, and Gohan appearing on these thumbnails. And it's time to finally reveal why they were there in the first place. And it's because these characters and series have chosen to be part of the final DLC characters added to the new version, and why they should be the ones added in the game. Now, I'm particularly not a fan of some of these choices, but I know other people are. But let's go through with them and see the total of 70 fighters, which I believe they would head for in DLC in total. Not in DLC, to go towards from DLC. Let's start with Black Clover. I've added Yuno and Yami, two very important characters of Black Clover, and as you know, Black Clover is desperately needing some representation. It deserves it. It really does deserve it. And it's kind of bullcrap that My Hero got some two first, but you know, there's a certain rivalry between those two that some people not like to bring up, but it's kind of seemed like My Hero's the more favorite here, but Black Clover definitely deserves its two reps, and these two will be a nice final addition for their representation. Now going to Yugioh, of course, adding Yami Merrick, and completing the Egyptian God cards. We got two, we need one more, is an obvious choice. Moving on to Saint Seiya. Now I know there's Hyuga and Shun, but to keep things pretty even, I decided to add only one more Saint Seiya character, and add Saga. I think that's a fair pick, and definitely Saint Seiya reps more of them in a crossover game is definitely appreciated. Of course, before we get to the new series, I'd like to talk about the other base series expansions. Pop and Lord Vern from Dragon Quest. Read Dragon Quest, first of all. And second of all, these two will make perfect additions. I even did a video on them, on their potential moves, so you should go check it out. For sure. Of course, with Yu Yu Hakusho, Hiei, Kurama, moving on to Hunter x Hunter, more Hunter x Hunter, yes. Miriam, Pitou, more Bleach, Ryukia, Kenpachi, and of course the big three, or main three in this game, has to get something: Nami, Sakura, and Gohan. And we'll talk about them in a second. I want to go to the new series. Hey, wait a minute. Somebody changed. Madaka seemingly got replaced by Tanjiro. And here's the plot twist here. I did originally pick Madaka for female representation, but more so because those three series kind of have a balance to them. One of them's kind of late 2000s, the other one's kind of a whole 2000 series, and the other one's kind of an older series. You know, from a very certain age of jump. Tanjiro kind of balances out a little bit better than Madaka, and let's be real, she's not relevant like a motherfucker. Tanjiro's the one. They would add him for sure, no question. Some of you may say, we'll save it for the new he should be saved for the sequel. That's ridiculous. Tanjiro is hot right now. Demon Slayer is hot. That's fucking stupid. Why would they save him for a later edition? They can save him for later DLC, but he will be one of the first DLC characters, if not one of the 3 characters in a new version you could play as. And this is where this layout comes into play. Now, I can see them doing this. Adding Gohan, Teen Gohan, Sakura, and Nami, along with Merrick and Saga, as a DLC pack all on their own. A character pass 2, but with a little less, with 4 less characters, so they can come out a little faster. But everybody else, well, you see, they could be in packs, like an extended Bleach pack, or a Black Clover pack, or a Dragon Quest pack, a Yu Hakusho pack, and a Hunter x Hunter pack. Well, they could do whatever they want ultimately, but just to make certain, just to go a certain direction, because we know we're doing this video, I can see them doing doing something like that. And as far as the 3 new series go, you don't save the new series for DLC. Put them within the new version. So that means when a new version of Jump Force, hypothetically, let's just say put in the scenario, comes out, we'll get 3 new characters from 3 different series. One from Gintama, another from Kinnikuman, and Demon Slayer. And the 3 of them together adds a certain balance of series to the game that I think is appropriate. And what you're looking at here is these 70 fighters could potentially, if I had to pick 18 more fighters, these would be the fighters to pick. I know we're missing a fighter for Rurouni Kenshin. I know we're missing some characters from, obviously, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Me personally, well, I didn't think personally when I made this list. I thought about what was best for the game. If you're going to end off the first Jump Force and a newer version of it, these choices would probably be the best choice. And personally, I would add more JoJo characters, but I think these characters would do. And let's talk a little bit more about these choices, like the choice of Teen Gohan. Now, I thought about this. I did say on Twitter that I did say that I did want the adult Gohan, but things have made me change my mind into thinking it's going to be Teen Gohan. First of all, the Gohan you see in the intros of the game is all Kid Gohan and Teen Gohan. They're going to add Gohan at his most iconic form, and that's his Teen Gohan. I gotta face the facts. I know I did. Teen Gohan would be the Gohan of choice. Now, I just really hope he could transform to Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2 and be at base when you play him, because that would really freaking suck if he's Super Saiyan. I really hate when Spike Chunsoft in video games put Teen Gohan at when you pick him at Super Saiyan already. I really hate that. I don't like that at all. They should not do that. And as far as the One Piece and Naruto goes, now there's another Straw Hat and Nami. You could have picked Katakuri. Katakuri was originally there, but then I thought, if this is going to be the final characters in the whole game, you need to add another Straw Hat. And Nami is a very iconic Straw Hat. She's one of the first Straw Hats. So you need to add her. So you have 4 Straw Hats and 4 non-Straw Hats. Even. As far as Bleach goes, Bayukia and Kenpachi, they're both characters that supposedly supposed to be in the game at some point in development. Just adding them. They definitely have their fans. I would say replace at least Bayukia with Yuvok. But I think Yuvok is a sequel tier character, not Tanjiro. Yuvok is. Tanjiro's way too hot to be pushed back any further than anything. This is way too hot. Now, as far as Miriam and Pitsu goes, you gotta have the character that Gon uses his finishing move on. And Miriam, for obvious reasons, is fucking Miriam. People want him. We need more villains in the game, and Miriam fills that pretty well. Do I even have to explain why Hiei and Kurama should be in the game? Anyway, this is it. We've talked about all the new improvements, and I think it's time. For a recap. We started this journey off by talking about the importance of an anniversary game. Talk about J-Star's faults and Jump Force's pluses, and J-Star's pluses and Jump Force's faults. Ultimately coming to the first changes we decided to make, the gameplay changes, the very core of the game, the very thing we use to build a foundation, as a foundation for our resurrection and reconstruction. Of course, this may be one of the most important parts, if not the most important part of the new version. Adding new abilities and even a full Awaken Only ability will definitely liven up the game, along with taunts, livening it up, and of course expanding the stages within the game for more room. At that point, we started talking about new modes and menus, where we introduced a character select screen that could help accommodate the new modes that could be added in a new version, like Team Battle. And of course, well, the possibility of even having new menus, and if it's necessary. And I say, of course, you make a new version, make it feel new. Of course, last but not least, we talk about the lobby and the lobby changes that need to be made. And of course, inevitably, we had to talk about whether or not we need more characters added. And of course, the answer is yes, but we don't really need it if soon. But is that really it? Well, there's been a beacon of hope, that this is gonna all come true. That this all resurrection could be a thing. And near the end of this video, by the time this video came out, we got a look into the future of Jump Force. Jump Force Resurrection possibly maybe on its way. The battle continues in 2020. This entire mini-series has been dedicated to the improvement in Jump Force, and I think we're there. I think we're one step closer. Thank you for watching Jump Force Resurrection, a mini-series dedicated to talking about the future of Jump Force and hoping that it is achieved, and it's seemingly so. But the conversation doesn't have to end. Let's go with some